am live. I am live, y'all. So, you got some of that sugar? Oh, honey, honey. I was sitting here thinking, right? Should I just release a member's video or should I just go live? And so I decided to just sit for a minute because, a lot of stuff is happening. Like this whole year and the year before that. It's just a lot. And what y'all have to understand is I told y'all. I told y'all. It has everything to do with the year in review readings that I did leading up into this point. Now, it's not my fault that some people put me in a box. Now, I said the reading is going to be different for all parties involved and those that know their place. Is definitely going to understand what I'm talking about. Now, what I don't understand is those of you that come in here knowing that someone put the woo-wop on you. Now, my members are already secure and know that my lives are sacred, they're protected. What that means? What does that mean, Ethan? That means when somebody come in knowing they got the woo-wop on them for the purpose of seeing if I'm going to clear it off of them, not clean it. The answer is no. It's not going to happen in a roundabout way, and it's not going to happen haphazardly. And this is because I don't want it to. So, all of y'all that know something is strange and unusual in your environment, that is good for you. Now, you could take it to the Lord if you know which one you need to go to, because the Lord is short for lordship. You go ahead and you take it to the Lord and see what happened. I decided that I was going to just chill out. It's Friday, I believe, right? Where I'm at. So that means I could just sit for a minute. I am what they call a true healer. So that means I know what I'm talking about and I know what individuals have on them without a demonology library. I've been through that away. See, unlike a lot of people, when the big G tell me to do something, which is God, universal life force source, the most high, the alpha and the omega, the supreme, the creator, when he says, throw that away. You don't need that. I throw it away. Now, when I said on that angel hierarchy, you see Archangel Seraphim. See, they forgot to put the arch there. The arch. Not arch. Archangel. There's no seraphim ever that was an arch. It's not archangel seraphim. It's archangel. It was seraphim class, and then it was archangel seraphim. These are originals. Anytime you see a seraphim, that means they are an original of some era. Just like ophanims, just like cherubs, or what you call cherubim. The thrones, the judges, powers, those are not angels. Those are things that angels possess, like a tangible good. Virtues aren't either. Virtues are not angels. That is something that an angel possess. I can make it make sense to you, but it's up to you what you want to believe. When I said that sacred book for some, that holy scripture, is not the word of God, y'all gasp. I said that the word of God comes from his mouth, her mouth, its mouth, to your ears, your brain, or your frontal lobe. Now you can say, well, we need to rewrite it like they did in history, revise it, and make it sound better, make them disciples. These are the words of disciples, you think. That sounds more accurate, right? We are reading the words of regular beings that once walked the earth, that heard a word and decided that they would write it down. That seems more accurate. Is it sacred? It is for some. You know, I was looking at something, and occasionally some of y'all might, get these little notifications. And I got a notification of a Bible scripture. It was Isaiah 20, something like that, 24, verse 20. And I looked it up. And, the archangels say, anytime I do anything pertaining to the Bible, they all come around and start laughing because they remember that timeline. And one said, I would prefer you not read that because he knows who wrote it. Like, we're talking about some old such and such. These are some old ones. I know it's hard for some people to fathom that beings that have always been and that will continue to always be are being. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Right, y'all? Some may think it's a good thing. I mean, depending on what your being consists of. As I said, if I'm always be, but I'm always be in poverty, how good is this? Things like that. And so conveniently, this is what I'm here for. Y'all seen all that spice and sugar floating around the YouTube streets? Some people saying, wait a minute. You know what I noticed, y'all, about the sugar and spice? When people shift, they don't understand that sugar and spice is not present there. So you'll be like, wait a minute. Some of y'all could grab one device and you grab the other one and you be like, the math is not mathing. You have 5 gazillion billion views and then you have 654 on this phone and 5 billion gazillion on this one. And you say, I mean, you're interested, but not really that much. right? Like how much, like there is a place where nothing but satire comes out. Like it's a few places. Like I'll turn on YT and I see a whole bunch of AI, right? That is forbidden here. This type is, but somehow they're letting it through the system. And see, this is why I'm saying I'm revising my resume, because a lot of people don't think fat meat is greasy. And when I start noticing things, I just like to be prepared, even though the big G don't want me to be. Some people they just gotta mess up a good thing. They can't help it. They gotta overdo it. Like one time I seen he must have got the Supreme God package because he had like 25,000 in like 20 minutes. 25,000 views in 20 minutes. We know that they're bots, but I mean, it says a lot about camaraderie. It shows that people are cutthroat. And if there's an opportunity for someone to step on your neck to get ahead, they don't bit much care if you have a family to feed or not. And this is why I'm enjoying this part right here. Because when it comes out, I know who it's about. And so does everyone else. Because it's such a thing called integrity. Some people use it a lot, a lot, a lot. And they need to like look the definition of it up. Because it's not just about talking a good game. It's about actually walking the walk. Y'all remember that? You got to walk the walk. And so what I see is y'all have to understand that I have to struggle to be happy. Despite my circumstances, I'm somebody that I can smile my way through a lot of stuff. Genuinely. But it's like, you got Debbie Downers. You got those that want to take your joy. There's a whole bunch of people that are now realizing fat meat is greasy because they sat there wishing all kind of things on people that did not deserve it while getting all type of favors. Y'all remember that? I have favor with the Lord. I have favor, not knowing what Lord they're talking about, because it's a group that don't realize that the Lord is someone else for them. Everybody either assumes that the Lord is God or Jesus, but the Lordship is key. The Lordship is key. So if you know that there's a Lordship, that means it's more than one. So the Lord for who? For which timeline, for which era? Some people don't realize that Melchizedek, Archangel Melchizedek, is a Lord somewhere. I know that's hard to, and so is Baphomet. So it's like, those of you that are walking while black, driving while black, you must understand that what you do to vilify them has been done to you and will continue to be done to you, because when the truth is presented to you, you choose the oppressor's view of what you claim to be your oppressor, while laughing, kicking it, and talking to the man that you say oppress you 24 hours. Some of y'all have a YouTube persona. And this persona is the man, the oppressor, the man, oppressor, the oppressor. to get views. Then you go and oppress your own. You know what that's called? Bigotry. I'm going to need y'all to understand that there's a difference between racism and bigotry. When it's on your own, it is bigotry. Do y'all understand that? Because it's going to be a group of conscious wannabes that come crawling out of the cement and the dirt that said, white people cannot be racist. No, they can't, but they can be bigots like you. Say it. It's called bigotry. I'm going to need y'all to stop saying that you are trying to make it better for the youth and young adults by promoting marriage while taking out of the mouths of single mothers. Amen? You done put so much spice on there, it's spicy. You got the sugar and the spice. He said it don't matter because you get your money from the ads. People got to watch the ads. This is their recourse, y'all. The rebuttal to what they're doing that is definitely not legal. Everybody be wanting to know what I do while doing everything they shouldn't be. Listen, what I hope for my future is that as quick as I came, it'll be as quick as I leave. and because I don't have my face plastered over every video like that. That I'm not on every platform. That is, but y'all know that they're gonna say, oh, that's a bunch of filters, that's AI. That's a real picture that I made look like an AI photo. Both of them. So it's like, I hope, because I don't want to be one of them ones somewhere, and somebody say, ain't you Ether? Because I'm gonna be like, that's my twin. No, I don't know who that is. That's how I'm gonna be, because I am not a personable person. I'm sociable, but don't put my career in my face. And it's not because my channel has declined. It is because I don't know who you is. And the way people act, they act like I'm gonna need a license to carry. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, back up. You know what I'm saying? Back up. Pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? I know how to jab. Back up. Pop, pop. You know what I'm saying? Back up. Because the stuff that I encounter, it will make you not want to be personable. So, I like my life. I was sitting here talking to the Lord, which one? All of them. And they act like they tired of reinforcing, things gonna be all right. Because these are men. They're angels, but they're, archangels. They're men. So they get tired of saying the same thing over and over again. It's like I said, it's gonna be all right. And I'm like, are you sure? Because it's been a gazillion billion years. And I'm like, you said that last lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And here I am. I didn't pass. I didn't croaked and everything. And you told me I was gonna be all right my last life. They don't know. They just think they know. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to understand that that's the dynamics. Because God, God is funny. God funny, y'all. He'll say something right. When you cool, I talked about this before. When you cool, when you first like, this is pretty cool. God talking to me and stuff, It's pretty cool. How you doing, God? I'm all right. You be like, God, what's so-and-so doing? None of your business. You be like, all right. God, what should I eat today? Don't eat that. Well, why not? Crickets. So don't eat crickets. No. When you ask him anything important, he don't say nothing. And so what I was going to say about the angel hierarchy, the chart. At the top, you have seraphim. And I said that there should be sobri natashi. It's not a type of angel, it's the rank of angel. Those are the ones that protects God's glory in the cosmos and on the earth and in other planets as well. So that means when they start doing too much in God's name, it's a group of Sobri Natashis that come meet you at your door. That's how it go. Now for the ones that are into all that spiritual stuff, because there's beings that know, they can separate their presence because that is how God made them. They don't need nothing to induce it. Psychomes and all of that stuff. These are real type of beings somewhere, y'all. They really real. And they have what we call spiritual gifts, and they don't see them as gifts. These are things that can see into different realms and go to planes without having to get all high. You know what I'm saying? That's how God made them. So there's a separation there. You cannot be around them because of the things that they could do to you. You should not be able to communicate with them because of the things that they want to do to you. Because just like the angels, just like the man upstairs and not your neighbor, I'm talking about the one all the way up there above the cosmos, they know these individuals. They know you from your past life. Is that hard to fathom? That is something out there that is so old, they remember you when you were first created. Do y'all know that? I actually spoke to Father Time, and he is not what y'all think. You saying that's pretty cool to be able to speak to these great beings. It is, but not without some push. I seen something from Miss Haddish, right? It was somebody uploaded some stuff that she was talking about, right? And she had it 100% right about what was taking place. But I don't believe she understood to its entirety. Like how serious this spiritual W fair is. It's very serious. And so most people are saying, well, when it stops, I still got to have money, But who you putting the T on, though? That's important. Who are you putting the T on to make sure you have money? Because throughout history, which I highlighted in one of my videos, people have been known for putting T's on angels. This is how it's distortion out about Baphomet, Coupe de Ville, which is the devil, Lucifer, Thanos, Serpus, Beelzebub, Satan. This is what people have been doing throughout his story. The only one that managed to get through was because he was accepting of his path, was Jesus. He got through. Yeshua was not even wrote about. The others were not documented. It was 3 at the same time. When Jesus got ready to come through there, he was accepting of his path. So he said, they're going to go ahead and blame me and use me. And that's what they did. I'm not about to do that. I came through swinging. I told everyone in the beginning, you back me in the corner, I'm going to come out swinging. And that's the truth. I was like that then. I was like that when I was in my teens. And I'm going to continue to be like that until the casket drop. Because what I understand is the majority of people do not care about someone else. There's only saints and individuals that truly are empaths, that truly care about someone else's plight. Out of all the people that watch me and know my situation, it's always the same individuals I can count on one hand. Everybody's excuse is, I don't have CA. It is hurtful because the things that I'm going through outside of this platform for everyone's future. This is why archangels, they do not talk. They do not talk. If they could talk to an average person, they probably wouldn't do it, because more than likely that is someone that benefited off of their reign, benefited off of slander, satire that was placed on that angel. The kicker is when someone knows the truth and still calls on one of their brethren for help. Because when I said Archangel Michael is not nice, why y'all think Archangel Michael is nice? Melchizedek is not nice. Metatron is not nice. Y'all seem that you all know that Set is not nice. For some reason, y'all get it right with Set. You get it right with Ogun, Obatala. But when it comes down to the ones that you truly should be thanking, you don't. Let me tell you something, what I know for a fact about Ogun. Ogun is one of them. Some of y'all done called on Ogun, and Ogun done showed you that instant, that day, to not call on him. They'll say, oh, Ogun is protecting me and do. Ogun is not protecting you. Ogun is not. Somebody wants to say it's because of me, the cards. I didn't tell you that Ogun was your head. That type of information comes out in a one-on-one. Why would I tell somebody that is an Ofaki that Ogun is their head? Y'all need to stop telling untruths about me. That's a part of your problem. She know not to call on Ogun no more. It's so many right now that know not to call. Ogun will flip a card so fast. Y'all, some of y'all not asking the right questions. We are in spiritual times. We're in spiritual. If you put a T on a divine feminine and then you call on Ogun for protection, that's what it's almost certain that that's going to happen. Y'all got to understand that a lot of this stuff that is happening to people is because of what they did spiritually to someone that did not deserve it. Or Safio. Let me tell you something about all Ogun. All of his kasaka is out. You're gonna make a mistake and call on one of them pentatonists, because that's how we see it, and figure out that they are not pantheons. This is the group that they say is under Mama Wata. That's totally different from Ogun or Safio. Y'all sitting here mixing up spiritual practices. That's gonna get you caught up. You want to say that you are somebody that has cross-cultural beliefs, not an omnius. You are y'all pick up, it's omniism. Y'all pick up stuff from me without truly understanding what I'm talking about. A person that is an omnius believes in all or nothing. I say I believe in all and nothing. And so I'm considered an omnius because my platform is geared for all walks of faith for a reason. You cannot hold an angel to your belief. And that's a part of the problem. Some people got really agitated because of the deck, like I made it. And what it was they couldn't find it. They wanted it for whatever reason. I didn't create that deck, but for some reason, because I had my hands on it first, there was a problem because they said that that was their faith and I shouldn't have it. Well, technically, you shouldn't have it either if you practice Yoruba. Ashakala. That's not something that you should be doing. You didn't talk to your Baba Agi. Why y'all want to play with me? I just come on because I'm sitting. I've been working on these videos. It's not just about me talking and filming and I do things in between. You know, I've already implemented what I said I was going to do in the first place. I said that I was creating content for my members, and that's what I mean. If he decides to open up my platform back to the public, to where they're seeing me, I don't need y'all to try to book with me. Just remain where you are at. I'm gonna say I appreciate all of you that have donated to me, those that are thinking about donating to me. I appreciate all of you. You have to understand that I am doing God's work. God's work. Even when I come on live, I'm about to just take a breather And hopefully nothing interesting comes up for me to talk about so I can stay off live, y'all. There's no breaks as an angel. Who said angels don't sleep? Jesse Bassell. He said angels don't sleep. And I said, what? It be sounding like, y'all, it sounds like he's somewhere else. He's somewhere else, and he say angels don't sleep. And I'm like, what? I'm trying to sleep. Look, y'all don't understand. Listen, y'all got it good. Don't ever want to be something that you're not born originally, because y'all got it good. You don't have things trying to talk to you when you're asleep. And if you do, you need to join the membership, because God has made it to where that membership is sacred for a reason. I'm not saying don't go and do your due diligence outside if you feel like you need to seek professional help. I am all for that. But I'm saying for those of you that feel like you need an addition, if you know that you have that type of issue, the first tier will suffice. That's not going to apply for everyone, because for a lot of you, you said you was going to wait till the last minute because you already knew what was taking place in the ethers. You knew it because you heard it. Some of these ones, y'all, even said they were a part of creating the chaos and conflict. The one that decided that she wasn't going to do the chaos and conflict no more is somebody that is caught up in that upheaval in Minnesota. They didn't do so much chaos and conflict that now they're actually in a chaos and conflict. Go figure. I was the last one to know that. You see my position? This whole time. I'm sitting here like somebody doing chaos and conflict. You can tell it's intense here, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. And go figure. It's coming from that region. That's messed up, y'all. Y'all don't think so? These ones can't even say my name. They done talked about me so much, they can't even say my name. You know, look, before I get out of here, y'all have to understand that these ones knew when the paradigm shift ascension started, because they were already awakened beings. That means they had clear audience from the gate. Y'all got to understand, at a certain point, their ear was turned on and their mind was in tune, and they were already communicating and getting all the wrong information. Stuff that did not make no sense. And the ones that have high positions is being busted out of it right before your face because it's showing up on the news. I see somebody say everything she say is wrong. That is a part of the fraction of individuals that feel like they have protection from other worlds. So these things want to be pantheons and such, start telling them what they're hearing about someone else, and they don't bit much understand that they ain't even talking about the right person. And so career down the drain. This is what they were doing. Y'all have to understand, not everybody faith is the same. Some people will go to spiritual practitioners. Some people will go to what they call their ancestors. You don't know if that's really their ancestor. That could be your ancestor they talking to. You don't know. Listen, y'all. I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to be able to relax for a little while. I'm trying to remember, is there anything else that I need to talk about before I leave? Because I don't want to come back on, at least not right now. Where I'm at is quiet for it to be Friday, and I'm happy. When I decide to finally go to sleep, nobody better wake me up. Nobody better start saying, put me with ether so I can sleep, because they feel like every time I am asleep, I will be their personal bodyguard. This is something that has been happening ever since they realized that I was the true paradigm shift leader. I am not the only one. There is several others. But because they don't know who those ones are, they always use me. This is after they wanted me unalive. This is what they did. You know, I made it. I'm like the big boys. Not quite, but whatever. You know, because I don't have them type of powers. This is what they did to them. You know, and so it's like, let me tell you something. There's all type of things that angels go through. And not just angels, there's other type of beings. There's other beings on the planet that know that they are a mixture of different stuff. They know this for a fact. I can call it out if the big G, which is God, want me to. Even if I don't know what you are, he'll say, that's a kosafiki. And then they'll come over and say, where? Because they know it's their dialect. I don't know. A kosafiki could be a MFer to me. They're all the same. A Asifio, a kosafiki, that's an MFer. That's what I call them. Modern day, modern day angels. You hear Kosafio, Asifio, oh, that's an MFer. What's another one? Uh, that's a let's see. Somebody said simp wimp. That's the impression of Weeze over there. Weeze is something like HELL razors. Yeah, look, everybody wants to be, you know, when they finally realize that they are an angel, right? And they know it because of all type of stuff, right? Everybody want to be the toughest ones because of the stuff that they didn't experience. No, look, nobody says I want to be an archangel. Nobody. To them, that is a demotion. And for some, archangel is a demotion. Archangel is a higher ranking than arch. We talked about this on a live before. When I asked God what a cherub was, he didn't say a cherub was a demon. He said a cherub was a cherub. When you ask him, he has demon, daemon, and demian. He has seraphim, ophanum, and others which have been phased out for a reason. Y'all don't know the name of the other types of angels because they're not existing. They either ascended to become archangel or they don't exist. It kind of like y'all starting to think about uh, the what's that? Let me see. See, this is what he be doing to me. Look, look, they all in agreement with this. Look, I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to look something up, and because I'm trying to look this up, see, they don't want me to. Nah, see, I gotta do it like this. Okay. uh, okay. The Old Testament. They trying to, somebody trying to remember what the Old Testament was about. You know, there's a lot of people that do not want to talk about the Old Testament. And I said, that is the truth, the Old Testament. They say, oh, ether. But did you know what happened? Yep, I do. I do. And because of what happened in that time period is the reason why we all messed up right now. But you say, well, he gave them a new contract, not you. The new contract that you got is now with the paradigm shift, ascension, and everything being phased out. Now you have an opportunity, because that's what paradigm shifts are about. Now you have an opportunity for a new contract. Well, what is the contract? We haven't got around to that part yet. If they stop trying to off me and off all the angels, we might be able to do that. But y'all just keep on adding sugar and spice and hope everything is nice. Because God is watching. They don't care if you believe they are demonic. You know how old they are? This is why when stuff start happening to certain people, y'all, they don't even care. Because at least you can hear the truth out. I was talking to somebody, and I'm somebody that don't like to push my belief, but I want people to understand, you got to make it make sense. Anytime you have any passage where you see a fallen angel. Angel is the key. Angel. Well, see, what happens is all of them, every last one that do that, end up in a situation where it happens to them, because this is how you learn. And then when they finally cross over, they encounter them, and you know what they do? They turn their back. That's what they do when these ones specifically, get escorted through the Hall of Two Truths. Because they know who they are. They did it in past lives. If they were allowed to continue to do it, they would. This is why so many want a separation. If the paradigm shift ascension is for ascended beings that are doing right, that want to do right, they should be separated from the ones that constantly want to do wrong. And this is why parallel and alternates exist. Y'all have to understand that. Because they finna sit there. All the stuff that someone is spirit about them, you think they finna descend out of the sky and come help you? Because they the only ones that can. I said Beelzebub, y'all don't know how great Beelzebub is. Beelzebub is one of them. Because if he was truly a demonic presence, y'all wouldn't know nothing about him. And let me tell you something. Even demonic presence, the ones that come in the sky at the closing of paradigm shifts in some places, they come in the sky, and when you hear them, it sounds like a choir. Those are the ones that work for God. I mean, they be like, and it's all about condemnation. That's like judgment from high. It sounds like a choir of people talking to you. And when they get upset, it's something like it sounds like a group recording, like a secession, like a shh, like the way it sounds is a lot of people experience it. They also experience the music ministry, because after that came through the music ministry and you heard gospel coming from the heavens. This is what the God did for a certain fraction of angels 3 years ago, because that portion of the paradigm shift had closed. When I heard that, I had no idea it would still be going to this day. My money was still good then, y'all. So it's like, I've seen I've seen some mystical stuff. I've always seen magical things, but I've like seen things and know that I'm not tripping. What is it? If I could say one thing that I don't like that the archangel, the men do, first and foremost, there's only a certain. It's only about 10 of the archangels that are women that I even want to communicate with, whether or not if they pantheons or whatever. It's only 10, because the other ones I don't like, and it's all right for me to say that. But I work with them. The ones that I respect, I know of 'em, I know by name. I don't sit here, with a deck and say so, and call on them. They already got that enough. I'm trying to converse with my spiritual spouse. That's it. That's it. I'm not trying to talk to God 24/7. Only person I'm trying to talk to is my spiritual spouse. That's the one that has been in the thick of it with me since the beginning. That's it. But it's like, if I could, if I could give one thing, it would be the fact that they don't like to explain nothing. That's typical of men in general. But because they know so much and they are so great, you know, if I say, teach me your dialect, they don't want to do that. It's like it'll come out when they want it to come out, because to them, it's for them. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, it's for them. They understand what they're saying amongst themselves. And to teach me would mean that I'm going to be sitting here saying somebody's bad word, because I do it all the time. I remember them. Y'all. And when I say a bad word and they dialect, they say, she's teaching the cherubs how to say foul language. Because we are considered the babies of the angels. I think it's funny. Now, I'm getting a sign that I got to get off, y'all. That's the one thing that I don't like. That is it.